Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I drove the sill to work today. Sorry I didn't film anything. It's feeling like the rack offset spaces in the steering rack have come loose again. So my plan for today is I'm just gonna get up on jack stands, pull those rack offset spaces out because the previous owner actually put them on backwards, so it's not really beneficial having them in because it creates this. Which is fucking gnarly, and I don't want that. I'm gonna head to Brisbane in the next couple of days and pick up another S13 cross member, and then I'll get it moved forward, and I'll show you guys the process of that. It means that the steering rack's not gonna over-center and create that bind and shit. But before I jump into today's footage, I ended up pulling the globes out of my 34, so here's that footage. Piece of shit. I'm pulling the cluster out of my 34 because I got to take the bulbs out of the ABS light thing and the auto trans light. Obviously it's manual now, so the light's just always on the dash. Also, I deleted ABS and made new brake lines, so that light's also on. I think what happens is you take a couple of bolts out of this steering surround a little bit, and then you take the bolts up here out of the cluster surround, and then you can get the bolts which go here and here for the cluster, and there's probably a couple more, and then it sort of just folds out. But I don't know, give it a shot. Hoping I don't actually have to take it out, but if you look at the back of here, you can see those little orange things. Yeah, they're the bulbs. So I'm just going to turn the ignition on and see which ones. Okay, ABS, so this far left one. Sick. Okay, auto transmission light. Okie dokie, I had to use both hands, but yay, it's there. How good. Let's put it back in. Ooh, I'll have a petrol light on. Oh, sick, man. I'm stoked. So yeah, don't have lights on the dash, which is amazing. But yeah, all I gotta do now is dogleg that shifter, make a shift boot, and give it a sand, and then I can put it up for sale. Anyway, if you guys enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up, tell some friends about the channel, and like always, if you're new here and you subscribe, your name goes to the end of the next video. Cheers. Cheers. No, officer. It does not have a welded diff. I have no idea what you're talking about. Might try and put this other rear garnish I have on there as well. Also need to pull the rocker cover off to see if I'm getting sufficient oil to intake cam lobe 1. I'll get the front up on stands, figure out the rack offset spaces, and then see. You don't have to be a rocket scientist to realize that that's pretty fucking cooked. So the point of this rack offset spacer is, see how this pickup point is now further backwards? Yeah, well, it's meant to be further forwards, and and the reason it's meant to be further forwards is when you're at lock, half decent lock things. If you look at the angle of this, the knuckle is in line with this tie rod, which means that, hang on, I'll set a camera up so you can see it. It's binding right now, so when you're at a big angle and to try and pull it out, because it's gone past over center, it's a real dog to pull it back. Say you're in a quarter feeding more angle, more angle, more angle, more angle, more angle, more angle, and it just goes, that last bit just goes yeet. So yeah, when the rack offset spaces are pushing forwards, it's essentially moving your steering rack further forwards. So, but yeah, I don't know if you can really see, but that's not ideal. Also, don't mind the completely bent tie rod. That's another issue. My lock stop at the moment is my rim onto my tie rod. So I need to weld a little lock stop nut or something onto there, so it'll go to that and that'll stop. Because I'm bending tie rods and I'm going through brake lines. And these aren't even aggressive wheels. I also just realised that I don't own the Allen key big enough to get these rack offset spaces, so we'll have to pop over to Hayden's and ask for his tools. Thanks, Hayden. But these rack spaces they're pretty much the cheap version of moving your steering rack forward, because you don't have to pull the steering rack out, the subframe out, cut the subframe up, move it forward, weld it back on. So for a bolt-on option, it's sick. But lots of people have these problems. I think you Loctite them when you first install them and they're pretty good, but you know, it's come out twice now. And I'm just gonna flag this for the moment. Seeing it's already super late, I'm not gonna head to Hayden's today. I'm working with them tomorrow, so I'll pick it up then. But I will pull that rocker cover off, and I do really want to fit that rear garnish, so we'll do that now. These motors get so much hate. It's so funny because I was like proper on board with the hate, and then I actually drove one and bought one. I see why people like them, hey. It's very surprising. The amount of torque they make, it's pretty wild. Obviously, RBs and Js are just better, but for a small little package of power to weight, these things fucking eat. Sick. I'm not going to mention anything about reliability because it's a car, they break. But yeah, just pull this rocker cover off. Hey, we're looking pretty good, lads. Sick, man. All good. All right, minty goodness. Let's chuck the rocker cover back on. Fire out, man. To make this engine bay look so much nicer. I want to start sanding it this week because it's going to be pink for the extended Christmas bash morning session at QR. That's the next time I'm driving. So keen. If you're free, come down. I think it's on a Wednesday on the 9th of December. Don't quote me on that, but it should be good. What the fuck? Oh, mate. That's not ideal. Sick, problem solved. There's a little 10mm, so this actually thing would rotate left and right and spin on that axis there. So yeah, just rotate it towards me a little bit, and now it's heaps of room. Alright, sweet. Next, I'm just going to set the camera up and try and take off that rear bit of garnish. I have a feeling that the other one is not going to fit even remotely close because the ass of the car is just so fucked. But give it a shot. And the rear garnish that I did buy it's not straight itself because I didn't want to buy like a nice garnish just to fucking bend it to fit this car. I'll leave the good part for the people with nice cars. So if you haven't seen this already, prepare to laugh your ass off. So this whole corner is completely fisted. It's quite funny because from the outside it doesn't look nearly as bad as what it is. Actually, yeah, you know what? I might take that comment back because it looks pretty fucking hideous. And also, I have a rear Rio, but where the rear Rio attaches to the car, It snapped off. So it sort of just sits there from the rear bar, which is not ideal. Alright, let's pull this bitch off. I might just pull the rear bar off real quick. It's gonna make me so sad. I'll attempt to put that garnish in, and then when it doesn't fit, I'll pull the rear bar off. This is like not even close. Holy shit. Oh, at least I can get the old rear garnish in. Wild. Okay. Let's pull the rear bar off. I don't really care, to be honest, because I bought this car knowing that it was fucked. I bought it for the setup, and so far the setup's been pretty decent. Stuff it. I'm just going to pull that tail light, then I can see the full extent of the damage. That's wild, hey. I was just talking to Will there and he's like, you just get a half cut and just unstitch it, stitch it back together. I mean, I have no idea how to do that, but I mean, it makes sense. In my brain, a reshell is the most logical thing, because I know the front end of this car isn't straight either. But it doesn't need to be. This is the car I learned to drift in, like it's gonna get fucking smashed. But I do really want to clean Sylvia. A clean Sylvia street car. I'm really glad I got to pull it apart though and actually see all of the damage, because I've sort of been not looking at it and like, I don't know, it's a bit depressing making, but at the same time it's not. I gotta put it back together now, goddamn. Job done. I think I'm gonna end the video here, guys. I guess end of story. Car's way more fucked than I thought it was. Well, when I say that I thought it was, pretty much as fucked as I thought it was, but it's just a sad realization knowing that your baby's bent. That's right, we're gonna just throw it at walls now anyway, so it should be fun. Stay tuned for that. If you guys did enjoy it, give it a thumbs up, tell some friends about the channel. Money pit. Absolute money pit. I love it. See you next video, guys.